It cannot be the best 60 minutes of your day because Miz isn't pitching. First thing you got to know, Mid's pitching? Nope. All right. Other than that, is now, I guess, kind of official. Giannis is no longer with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's a member of the Miami Heat. And John Anderson, formerly it was the John Anderson Homer Hour, is going to be on in a few minutes. After that, Jason Wilde. After that, Tony Smith. After that, the comments of Jay Billis from Friday that are worthy of playing because he's doing the draft tonight with ESPN. And, of course, your calls. 1-800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line. Listens more. And I'm really not that interested in texts because this is one of the days where I want to hear people speak. And I'll give you, I don't know that I'll actually interrupt, which generally I set the rule is if what you say isn't any good, I don't care who you are, then I'm going to interrupt because we got to do better. But in today, I think you get 30, 45 seconds with no interruption by me so that you can say whatever it is that you want. I'd say 30 seconds. We'll start the clock. No interruption. And you only got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. What do you want to say about Giannis leaving the Milwaukee Bucks? And that, again, there are just a couple things to me that are important. One is that Milwaukee Bucks had nothing to do with this. This is not about the Bucks. This is about Giannis. Giannis wants out. If you're the Bucks, I guess you can keep him and then get nothing in return, but that would be irresponsible. This is not about the Bucks. This is about Giannis. He wants out. That, to me, is an important fact as far as what occurred. And you can say anything else like that. And I said the other thing that I don't want people to say is all the great things you can say about Giannis, understandably so. He's not the best player ever for the Bucks, and it's really not close. He is the greatest player who was here a long time. In 6 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Lou Alcindor did more than Giannis did. If you pick Giannis's best 6 years, is this that important? It is to me because there are enough great things to say about Giannis. Just don't say he's the greatest Bucks player ever because you're wrong. And now it could be because I'm old and I saw him play, but no. Everything Giannis did, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did more, and other than Giannis has the most whatever, because he was a great player who was here the longest. You take his best 6 years of all the time in Milwaukee, they aren't as good, his best 6, as the 6 of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But when you get your 30 seconds, you don't even have to agree with me. You can say Giannis is the greatest player ever. You can say this is about the Bucks or whatever you want because you get the 30 seconds. Those are just the two things that bother me because they're just not accurate. And it just to finish, but both were a Finals MVP. Jabbar was a MVP, league MVP, season MVP 3 times. Giannis 2. The Bucks made it to the finals another time other than winning the championship, which Giannis, of course, didn't do. And in his 6 years, Kareem averaged 30.4 points per game, 15 rebounds. Giannis is a much lower, and that's because he played when he was very young and now when he's a little. But if you take his best 6 years, they don't equal what Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did in his 6 years. So Giannis is great. The greatest player for the longest time, but the best player for the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's really not that close, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 1-800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more, and you get 30 seconds to say whatever you want without an interruption by me. Couple of other notes. I mentioned that I was wrong in the sense of Jimmy Haslam, the new partial owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, who I will always refer to as Midas, because he has the amazing ability to everything he touches turns to a muffler. He is not, while he's been very talkative about it, this or that, he's not really running the show. Edens is the owner who's, they call the governor, who's making the decisions. Now, so whatever complaints you have really should be guided toward Edens. The only possibility is that Edens is going to sell his portion of the team to Midas, and so that he might be speaking as what Midas wants because he's going to be the governor, but he wouldn't have to. So I don't know how anybody's going to know that for sure. But the decisions being made that have been made, however you feel about Midas, and you should be worried because he's just, it's hard to be as bad as he's been as an owner for the Cleveland Browns. And it's not just the quarterback. He's been there for how many years? And the Browns were one of the great franchises, similar in some ways to the Green Bay Packers from an older time period. But it's not known for sure that he's the one making these decisions, though he has talked the most. Because the guy running the show, by the way they set it up, is actually Eden. So, all right, here we go. 30 seconds. I do not interrupt. Caleb, you're on the what used to be John Anderson Homer Hour. He'll be on in a few minutes. You got 30 seconds. Let her fly.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say, in my opinion, Giannis is by far the greatest Buck, will probably forever be the greatest Buck of all time. He obviously holds every statistical category. And in my opinion, nobody's been a better ambassador to the city, the community, the state, the franchise than Giannis. You can go back and forth about the way the relationship frayed post-championship, but what he gave to the city in his time here is second to none. And maybe it's just from my youth. I'm only 26, but I think he beats Kareem every day of the week in terms of play in the Bucks uniform.
And I wish to say, Caleb,
yeah.
Perfectly done. You finished it well, took a little more than 30 seconds. That's what you get to do. Whether I believe the same that Caleb, that doesn't matter. It's Caleb's 30 seconds. Anybody listening, going on YouTube and watching, you want to try to do it exactly as he did. Thanks, Caleb. Rob, you are next. 1-800-990-3776. 30 seconds. Maybe you'll get a little bit more if you're as good as Caleb. Rob, let her fly.
Larry Homer David. Long time no talk, my friend. I was trying to back you in the last hour. You didn't let me get my whole piece here. My piece. Us in Wisconsin are grateful for what you're saying. You're saying what all of us want to say, but no one can say it. We're so happy Giannis did everything he did for the city, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, the post he did in February saying, Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not effing going anywhere. I'm not this, that, the other. And then what does he do? He posts that post last night, and then Shams comes in and he's gone. I expected more. I just didn't think this day would ever come. I love you, Larry Homer David. Godspeed. Bucks in 6 forever.
Thanks, Rob. Nicely done. I even gave him a few extra seconds, so maybe get 45 or 50. Rob, outstanding as well. If we get other callers as good as those two, because I've been told actually by Aaron Rodgers years ago, you're not a very good listener. To which I said, well, if you had better stuff, I'd listen. 1-800-990-3776. I want to know what you think. No questioning, no disagreement, and you only have a certain amount of time. You can't go on. You got to get to it and pick out what you want to say. 1-800-990-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line. Again, John Anderson coming up. After that, Jason Wilde. After that, Tony Smith. After that, Jay Billis, and you as well. I was up it was about midnight or 11 p.m. when they announced that the trade was taking place. And I was trying to go back and see some of my comments as to what I wanted to state at the beginning. 1-800-990-3776. Fact, this was about 11 o'clock. Giannis is gone because he wanted out. Can argue about anything else, but discussion starts with total agreement that Giannis is gone because he wanted out, even if he states the obvious. And then somebody, Yahoo Sports, put up after 13 seasons, Giannis, 2021 NBA champion and finals MVP, 2024 NBA Cup champion and MVP. To which I said, NBA Cup champion, please remove, unless you add something special he did in preseason games. And given the discussion about Giannis, which I was pretty close to perfect, mentioning a year and a half ago that you better go watch Giannis play because he might be gone, and all the information comes out that, in fact, he did want to be gone, and the Bucks decided to try to keep him around. But the idea that you needed to watch him because he could be gone was 100% right. To which I stated last night, I prefer Homer, you are always right, but we'll accept Homer, you are right. Let's see. I've already talked about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in terms of the stats and something like that. Oh, yes, this was about the World Cup, about the U.S. Very good team. It would be for the U.S. to win the World Cup would be like a donkey winning the Kentucky Derby. 1-800-990-3776. It's time to go because John Anderson is ready. Next.
Eastbound 94, just past Highway 83. Looks like we got the left lane blocked with a crash. So just be careful with that. We've also got a crash on 94 southbound just in the Mitchell interchange. It's off on the right shoulder. So keep an eye out for that. Relatively light delays through that area. We do have backups, though, from Good Hope Road down to Capitol on 41 southbound. Northbound is backing up from Mayfair Road all the way to Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series Wednesday Night Live, presented by Beatbox. Almighty Vinyl hits the stage this Wednesday at 7. Be there Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. For custom apparel that helps your team, business, or event stand out, choose Big Frog. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. And Discount Liquor is here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we've been your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. This baseball season, make plans to stop by Discount Liquor because when the division rivals from Chicago visit, the more booze, the better. With a selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has got you covered. We are your one-stop shop this baseball season. Discount Liquor, 2 locations. In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow in Maine.
Discount Liquor.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss here for Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of the house this summer and enjoy a great weekend at Road America, located conveniently between Milwaukee and Green Bay in Elkhart Lake. This legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course has been hosting the world's best racers since 1955. Bring the whole family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. Camp on site, explore the grounds, and take in racing your way. It's more than a race, it's a full-day experience. Trans Am is up next at Road America coming June 26th through the 28th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The John Anderson Homer Hour until his job as a professor at the University of Missouri took too much of his time. But he'll be on here in a little bit. Also, Jason Wilde and Tony Smith and Jay Billis and Tim Van Vorn, because the show is going until 7 o'clock, and maybe a few more of your comments on the Carbless talk line. It's a text line, but we're not doing text. I want to hear the voice. 1-800-990-3776. Lists is more. Might not be able to get to those in a bit. Milwaukee weight loss. Started at 229. Now I'm at 206. Why? Eat less, and I'm happy eating less. They got a program. As I often mention, there's no but. You can lose weight, but you have to do this. But you have to do this. There's no but. The program is different. No intense workouts. No prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or counting calories and points. People ask me, so have you had to work out more? Nope. There's no but. No drugs, surgery, or injections. It's just figuring out a way for you to eat, and you eat less. And now I'm eating less, and I'm fine eating less. So take advantage. They give you a free consultation, 262-235-3980, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. You may do it slightly differently than I do, but in a limited time, you get $200 off the Milwaukee Weight Loss Summer Special. Book your free consultation, $200 off, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. It starts with no sugar, no dairy, and no bread. How can you do that? Well, eat other stuff, and then you'd think, well, you're just going to stop. Nope. Now, on the next phase that I have, I can cheat a little bit. Why? Because I'm still eating less, and if you eat less, you'll weigh less. So 229 to 205. I can be 205 the rest of my life. I look forward to telling you in 5 years that I'm 205 or 206. We have John Anderson now. Joining us now is Professor John Anderson. Good evening, Professor.
How are you, my friend? Good to talk to you.
Happy to talk to you. I would bring up your performance at the NCAA women's track and field, but I don't want to lose focus, because I would, on Giannis being traded. And now I want to hear what Professor John Anderson wants to say. I will be as quiet, not say a word, until you allow me. Say, Homer, you can talk again. Take it away.
Well, as always, this is your show. You feel free to chime in as you see fit, because, you know, I may be incorrect in a lot of my assessments of what's happening. So, one, team didn't get better, because that's not going to happen when you trade off Giannis. I think everybody's ready for the prolonged period of, because I think it'll be prolonged, of...
Sir, just how long does prolonged, what is that?
They're 4 seasons from being good.
4
By
seasons.
the time we get
Okay,
gotta get out of
now
this-
hold on. And to
gotta
be
get out
good
of the
means,
stretch, you gotta-
I say to be good means winning 50 games in the regular season. But
Yes.
4 seasons to be good. You'll go with the 50 wins.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 seasons to win 50 games. Okay.
and that's if they draft right and things come up right. They're 4 seasons away from the potential of being good, right? Like I don't know that they're guaranteed there, but anything inside of that, God bless Coach Taylor Jenkins for getting that done, because I just don't think they can do that inside of 4 years. So you got to hope that the picks come through, that somebody lands. You get 1 or 2 of these picks that become something.
To make you be more confident, my peeps say it's the best draft in 40 years.
Okay, we'll see.
I know, we will.
That'll be great. Do you get a Devin Booker at 10 or 13, or do you get somebody who's Rodney Rogers? So hopefully somebody there comes through in that. I would love to be able to flip Hero for somebody. I hopefully not hurting his Milwaukee feelings. But I don't think he's.
My sources say if the pick
much
is
of
early
anything.
enough, they'll do it for a pick. And it didn't seem like it had to be top 5. They think the top 15 are so good.
They could flip them around, but.
Oh, yeah. You're right. At 10 or 13 and Hero. Yeah, get to the top 3.
So,
Ooh, good idea.
And I think they got as much as they could for as long as they waited. But it's gonna be a minute before they have a chance to be good, because we still got to stretch out Lillard's salary, and I feel like we've got guys on the roster who could do what Hero does for cheaper. But listen, I when I first saw the haul, I'm like, okay, they didn't get any frontline player for him. You got a bunch of parts. Some a little better
a bunch
than
of parts. Love it. I'm going to steal that.
And then you hope, like I said, the draft picks are something. But draft picks clearly don't have the capital they used to, or you wouldn't be selling them off at 3 and 4 and 5 at a time, which is what teams do now. So maybe we've got a good international. Where's Fran Fraschilla? Hopefully we've got a good international scout that has found another kid that's a skinny Greek kid. But wherever he is, that they can fill in. But for where they had let this thing lag, I think they came out of it as well as they could have hoped. But I don't know that it would have been as good as if you'd have traded him at the deadline last year.
My source said yes, they believe that they could have gotten better last year. The peeps in charge wanted to give Giannis one more chance. Of course, they were assuming he'd stay healthy. He didn't, but yes, I think they're. And I don't know the particulars, but they agree with what you just said.
And I'm not super sad, right? Like, I think the guy, it is sad to see him go, but I'm not melancholy. Like, the guy gave us 13 great years. He got a championship. The team is stalled. I don't think it's wrong to do the guy a favor. Like, I think it's an easy repayment. It'll be hard.
And I would add, they also, because I don't know that they feel like they're doing him a favor. They're concerned about the, what do they call it? The Supermax was his injuries. They are not believing, they're not going to go public. They're not certain that he can stay healthy anymore long enough. Like, I compare him to, who is it, Kawhi Leonard?
I don't know if he's quite that.
Correct, but that's the concern, that he could be that, and then what are you getting if he can't stay healthy enough?
Well,
in terms of the big money.
You could always not run headlong into the triple team on a fast break.
Yes,
you could preserve some.
And are you going to be the one telling him that and believe that he will adhere to you, Mr. Professor?
I don't know, but I will say this. I think Spoelstra is
great point.
A different level coach that he has played for since Budenholzer left.
Yep.
I think this is a guy that immediately commands his respect. This isn't one where we got to we got to see if we can, if Giannis likes him.
You want to win a championship, this is what we have to do, right?
Here's a guy that's done a bunch of it, and while he hasn't delivered in a while, he's managed to get to the finals twice with some people. I do wonder if Jimmy Butler's like, man, why'd I opt out of this again? That sucks. Why'd I throw the fit this time? Because that's how Jimmy leaves, right? He throws the fit. at least professionally. I don't know him like you do, having
he's got
interacted with him when he
issues.
was at Marquette.
He's got issues.
But I wonder now. He's like, man, I'm here with broken down, gray bearded Dre and Steph, who keeps getting broken down, and I'm in this thing with a bad knee.
I'll give you a tip on Jimmy. People that want him on their team like him more than the team that he's on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's happened in Golden State too, but
yeah, you just don't keep going to place like that.
Correct.
I
want to know when you heard this, what was your first thought? Like, I expected this, or I'm sad. You said, what's the first thing that crossed your mind? Eventually, or I knew this was going to happen. What?
Yeah, just like, okay, finally. Okay, here it is. Right, this is coming. And I'm glad it was in Boston. I think he fits better in Boston, and I think that makes Boston more formidable. I don't know if you get Jaylen Brown back or somebody, at least we got a frontline player, which would have probably
I was
been
told it wasn't close. Boston
nice.
offered nothing other than Brown.
Yeah.
And just Brown, that's it.
Yeah, and I like him. I think he's a really smart guy. I think beyond just basketball, I think he's a really heady guy. But I just don't know that on his own, which is what he's going to be. I feel like this is a team that hopefully doesn't lose 60. But I don't know right now.
You mean the Bucks?
Stuff that
I want to say, I was going to ask you, I think they win more games next year than this year.
That'd be amazing. Then, boy, what a win that is.
Or how bad they were this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Is 30 and is 30 too low an aiming point? Does that seem like, can 30 wins be a success? I don't know. With how it goes, but my reaction initially wasn't any kind, like I said, wasn't really melancholy, wasn't any of that. I think everybody's come to resign themselves to the fact that was going to happen, right? That this was going to go, and at least in mine, I don't know if I reflect the listening audience, but I think everybody's like, okay, he's run his course, he has not served his time. That makes it sound like he was, serving a stretch. But he's 13 really good years for the team. We watched, part of it is because we watched him grow, right, from this literally skinny kid to this MVP and delivery of championship. That makes it harder, I think that's harder than Kareem, even though Kareem left in his prime. Kareem came out as a 22-year-old kid. He had played at UCL for 4 years. This kid literally, Milwaukee feels like they raised him. And so I think that's part of the separation anxiety that's happening. You and I are older and crustier in that, man. This is a business. Guys are parts, and they move them on.
And that's what the players say. I have a category that Giannis is in. You know what the category is? I feel lucky. I feel lucky to have been around to watch him play, and that's the standard by which I say that about Giannis. I say that about Favre. I say that about Rodgers. I say that about Jim Brown. I certainly say that about Alcindor when he was in college. And that's the. I don't know and that's just. I don't know if that means how good they are. You might have a better John Anderson category.
No, and we got the best of him, right? No matter what Miami gets, they don't get the best of him. I mean, maybe they do for a year or something, but we got the Bucks fans and the organization got the best of him.
You can keep going. And
no, that's what I had.
No, I've got another one then, because I've asked the callers to do this. You get 30 to 60 seconds to say whatever you want about Giannis. That's all the time you get. So you have to pick what you want to say in that short period of time. Take it away, Professor John Anderson.
He is the second best player in the history of the franchise. But maybe, I'm going to say this. What if I tell you he might be the best player in franchise history, and Alcindor was the most important, Kareem was the most important player in franchise history, because it was year 3 when he came in, and them winning the title in year 3. But he might be the best player in franchise history. I'm with you. We should celebrate the fact that we got to watch him. I think he is I haven't had time to scope it out. Is he one of the 5 best players the state's ever known? Easy enough to make a case. I'm trying to think who'd put in front of him. Favre, Rodgers probably go in front of them. Does Ron, I feel like maybe Ron Dane does. I know his pro career wasn't that, but for what he did for the university and then.
Yes, I want to tell you, I feel lucky to have been around to watch him. There are other running backs at Wisconsin, but none to the same degree because he was so big and nobody ever caught it from behind, and there had been no history of Wisconsin greatness. And he just shows up and But anyway,
And I am of the belief too that I still think that you can be a great college player, and just because maybe you weren't the best, that does not just because you didn't go on to become Joe Thomas doesn't dim what you did at that university for me when he comes through. So
no, I worry that people will not fully appreciate Frank Kaminsky because historically special and could have easily won a national title. But what did he do in the pros? Nothing.
Yeah, and it's not a great day, but it's an expected day, and it's sort of like someone when I in my teaching, there are different kind of obits, right? So if you're writing the obit on his career here, it should be one that should be celebrated, not seen as something tragic.
And it's not even close enough to people say that to debate that. A champion. A champion. All right, what about the other stuff? Okay, we'll get there. As I want to say, I thought of this with the golf. As Andy North, when I asked Johnny Miller about him, who supposedly didn't always say great things about Andy North, he said 2-time U.S. Open champion. And I said, what? He goes, stop. There's nothing else. 2-time U.S. Open champion. So that's what I called him. And when I told Andy North that, he said, Johnny Miller, the golfer? I think he was surprised that he would actually say that. But, yeah, I mean, 50 points. 50 points in the last game in the playoffs. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, he's special. And we got a banner. I mean, it's kind of like the grace period, right? When people say, oh, well, if you win a banner, you can't complain for 5 years. I don't know who made that rule. I've just heard it a lot.
Yes.
And I know the Red Sox fans completely disregarded that thing. But
all right, Jason Wilde is next, but I got to because I said the Bucks blew it. They should have announced this on a day that the Miz was pitching because everybody's happy the day Miz is pitching. They don't care anything else that happened. I want 60 seconds from John Anderson on the Miz.
Well, right now he's off to being the best pitcher in the history of the organization. But it's hard to say that after a guy who's been in the big leagues for a year. But he's unlike anything else we've seen. Right, Sabathia's stretch was remarkable, and given the time it came on the pressure of a pennant race and opting free agency, he just went out there every fourth day and just threw BBs and complete games. But this is unlike anything we've seen, and the fact that 15 strikeouts and no walks is crazy, but he's not like strikeout 8 and walk 6 anymore. Like that guy is. He's dialed in, and I'm with you, man. Every day that I check, is this his day? I keep losing track. Is this his day?
Damn! I wish you could play more. You hate starting pitchers.
Right, where you literally are looking, is this a Miz day?
Yeah. Well put.
So,
all right, one last thing, because only you would give me credibility or say it's stupid. I'm as amazed at anything by his facial features now because when I look at him, I feel like I'm seeing Dennis the Menace from the TV show. He looks like he's 13, his face. But
he does have a youthful look to him.
Look. There you go. I'm going to steal that too.
But you know what? 104 is pretty grown man stuff.
Yes. It's like Dennis the Menace just threw in 104. Maybe there's one of these young kids that's in TV shows now that I should probably use. I just went down Hudson on everyone. No one has any idea about Dennis the Menace, the TV show. So, all right, any last word that you, Professor John Anderson, want to leave us with?
I know I'm busy on Tuesdays, but I miss visiting with you, man. I miss it.
I do too. Another reason to hate academics. Thanks. Professor John Anderson, Jason Wilde next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got delays along southbound 41. Pretty hefty delays, though, from Good Hope Road down to Capitol Drive. The northbound side from Mayfair up to Hampton. We do have westbound 94 backing up from about 27th Street to Hawley Road. You'll be back on the brakes just west of Highway 100, all the way out past a broken down vehicle that showed up right about at Calhoun. We've also got some more delays continuing from Blue Mound Road all the way past Highway F. And then we've got an accident on the eastbound side, believe it or not, just east of Highway 83. But the delays are coming in westbound from just past Meadowbrook Road all the way to Highway 83. Eastbound's delays are slowing down from about Kettle Moraine Scenic all the way past Highway 83. Of course, you got your usual backups from 76th Street to 35th as well. Traffic is brought to you by Badgerland Junk. Clear the clutter fast with simple, stress-free cleanouts from single items to full properties. Upfront pricing, no hidden fees. Visit BadgerlandJunk.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Trans Am is up next. Full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
So it finally happened involving Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it took 4 current players and 4 future players for that to happen, with him being traded by the Milwaukee Bucks to the Miami Heat, where now he gets a chance to try to be the dude again to lead a team to a championship. Many people will wonder, well, the Boston Celtics put it out there. They were willing to part with 2 first-round picks and Jaylen Brown for Giannis Antetokounmpo to have those 2 things happen involving that trade. Well, Milwaukee, in my opinion, made the smart move. If you get a Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks, that doesn't mean you're not going to have the same conversation if Jaylen Brown decides not to sign an extension 3 years from now, which is the time left on his contract. They had a chance to rebuild their team and not gut their team at the same time. Giannis gets what he wants. He wanted out of Milwaukee for the past year or so. Milwaukee gets what they want, a chance to build again without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, Boston's left out in the cold, but it was the right move by the Bucks to deal with Miami and not with Boston. In 60 seconds, where now, Jaylen Brown?
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
At the Home Depot, we know pros want to be ready for whatever the job site has in store. That's why the Home Depot app is made for pros who don't miss a beat. So you can power your jobs with rentals to get the tools, trucks, and equipment you need fast. And Pro Extra benefits to keep your business growing. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
He's put it out there. He wants to be 1A, not a code number 1, not a 1B to a 1A, not a number 2 to a number 1.
I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one.
The guy I'm talking about is Jaylen Brown, at least for right now. Still a member of the Boston Celtics. But he has put it out there in terms of he believes he should be a number 1. He knows it's not going to happen in Boston, even though he was there for Jason Tatum. That doesn't matter to Celtics. He believes, and we've all seen it, they regard Jason Tatum a little bit more than Jaylen Brown, so maybe it's time for him to push that exit button and get on out of there. The question is, where is he going to land? Could it be the Atlanta Hawks? Could it be the Houston Rockets? Could it be somewhere else where he wants what he wants, and he believes he can be that one dude that he believes he is? For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A special 2-hour show with Giannis moving on to the Miami Heat. First, it was John Anderson, the professor, on the Yingling John Anderson hotline. And now it is Jason Wilde on the Yingling Jason Wilde hotline. You earn your own hotline when you have been Sports Writer of the Year in Wisconsin for 3 years. Good evening, Jason. How you doing?
DJ Yingling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. I'm good, Homer. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fascinated always to talk with you when things like this happen, even though it's not the Packers, because you have such a standard and so many thoughts about athletes as people, which is exactly the opposite of me.
Both those statements are true. Yeah.
And I've observed it. So your thoughts on Giannis can be so wide-ranging. Where do you start now that you've had half a day to think about it?
Yeah, I probably didn't need that long to think about it. Look, there's a separation of church and state, and separation of business versus just the way you conduct yourself as a person. And by all accounts, he has been aces as a guy over his 13 years in Milwaukee. But I think he mishandled and was misleading in how he handled the last, year and a half or however long it's been. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the truth. And much like, I don't think it's like Aaron Rodgers on his way out of town, because he was pretty honest about that. Now, he was dishonest about his vaccination status. And I definitely have no interest in debating whether he should or should not have been vaccinated. That is not the point. So for those of you listening that, for whatever reason, it's
he was sneaky
Pavlovian response. Right, and that's the point. I agree or disagree with his position. Even if you agree with it, he didn't tell the truth, and he obfuscated and...
And this is an aside. Why do you think he did that?
Because he knew that he knew that he'd be criticized. But
that strongly in what you think?
Correct.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. And so... look, we all fall short of the glory of God. I have failed many times. I am in no way perfect. But I like to think I'm a pretty honest person. Have I told the truth 100% of the time for the last 54 years? No, I have not batted 1,000. But I think you could talk to my kids and they would tell you that I don't lie to them. And my issue with how this has played out is that it has been a dishonest way that it has been handled. I mean, saying that, I don't, my agent doesn't speak for me, or whatever he said then, posting the social media thing at the trade deadline about how leaders don't chase, they attract. I mean, what bothers me is that the storyline should start, the first sentence should be, the Milwaukee Bucks traded their superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Miami Heat in the late hours of Monday because he wanted to be traded. And he tried so hard to present it as something else, and I just don't think that was truthful. And that doesn't make him a bad person. It doesn't tarnish his legacy, in my opinion, in any way. It just means that in that area, I thought he was less than honest.
And he didn't get any inside help to say, maybe he did and he didn't listen to him. That's not you.
Yeah.
Be you.
Right. And say, look, I mean, there's, and look, I
or
I don't
say
always
nothing.
agree. Right. That too. But so, I get to see a little bit how the sausage gets made in terms of how the Packers PR staff handles players and helps them kind of craft the messaging, right? Which, look, that's their job, right? Now, I want players who don't need to be coached necessarily because they're just going to tell the truth because they tell the truth, right? But there are different ways to deliver the messaging. And I think, and I've seen guys do it, and I think they, like, for instance, I can tell you that there were certain folks in the PR department that, felt like they could have had an open locker room after the Josh Jacobs thing because they were confident in their own messaging and how their players would listen to them, that they would have been able to handle the questions that might have come. Again, neither here nor there, but my point is that in a situation like this, there are surely, like, I'm sure Giannis or the folks that work over there, but those people know what they're doing. They are good at their jobs. And, you never want to be dishonest or misleading. Like, you can, if you don't say anything, no one's going to accuse you of lying or misleading them, right? And the way this played out, and again, this is what bothers me about this conversation, because now, it sounds like I'm ripping him or I'm this does not change the fact that he brought a title to a franchise that had gone 50 years without one. None of this changes that, nor should it. My only beef, if there is one, is just be honest and say, look, I've loved my time here. I wish it could continue, but I do want to chase a championship. And this organization and John Horst tried like hell to figure out ways to reconfigure our roster so we could win another title while I was here. And I certainly didn't help with my health challenges the last several seasons. But
that would have been special if he'd said that.
Right. And it's time for a change. And I'm ready to make that change. To compare it to the Rodgers thing, like, yes, initially would there have been blowback if he said, look, I don't believe in vaccines, I'm not doing it. And if that means, like, Kirk Cousins was in the same boat. Kirk Cousins refused to do it. And yes, did some people criticize him or make fun of him? Yeah, they did. But I don't know, does anybody talk about Kirk Cousins anymore and the fact that he didn't get vaccinated? No. Do they talk about Aaron Rodgers and the fact that he was misleading about it? Yes, they do. So I wish someone could have just that Giannis trusted, and maybe he did and ignored it. I don't know. Again, this is not the team I cover. I don't know him at all. I've never met him. I've never interviewed him. I've never covered one of his games. Nothing. But if someone who could have helped him would have had an opportunity to do so, I am sure they would have said, look, just just be honest. And if there are certain things you don't want to address, then don't address them. It's fine. But I just feel like he kind of played a game, and I just didn't love the way it played out.
And I'm glad I asked it, because I tend to maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, because it wasn't him, and it's almost like I asked about Rodgers. I just don't get it. There's you've created this.
I think
no one thinks he was phony, because he wasn't. But then,
he was phony in this way.
Yes, or if he wasn't phony, then he's not who we all thought he was. Which
here, and that is wanting to be loved and appreciated and beloved. And maybe he thought, and again, I don't have this kind of a legacy that I would be worried about the truth damaging it, but like, maybe he was worried that if he just came out and said, look, I love Milwaukee, I might even come back here and live here someday after my career's over. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's time. It's just time. I'm ready for a different challenge, and I'm going to chase that. It doesn't change anything about how I feel about the people here or how I feel about my time here, but I need a new challenge, and I'm going to chase that, and we're going to work on a trade. But that's not what he did, and he wanted to be. It reminds me of Tiger Woods, and obviously Tiger Woods stuff was very different, but like Tiger Woods wanted so badly to be perfect, right? Like everything, the image that he worked so hard to cultivate, and then he, crashed his car in his neighborhood in Orlando, and then he did that press conference with his mom in the front row, which was so awkward. I remember watching it in the lobby of our old place, our old ESPN Milwaukee headquarters in the Big Blue building downtown, and it was just awkward. It was uncomfortable, and hey. I don't. It's not good that you cheated on your wife. It's not good that you were impaired when you were driving. But you don't have to go about it this way. And so Giannis is very different. It's not the apples to apples. But it just felt like he really wanted to protect how he was viewed, and he wanted everyone to like him. And he was afraid that if he told the truth that maybe some people wouldn't like him anymore. And guess what? There are people now that look at him, despite all those efforts, and they don't really like the way he handled it. They appreciate the championship, but there's some bitter people. Yeah, like I have never learned this, so this is pretty hypocritical of me to say, but you really are not going to please everybody. So you might as well at least be honest.
Yes, that might be a pretty good slogan. And now I will ask you, as we had some people called in, John Anderson did it. You get 30 to 45 seconds to say whatever you want about Giannis. Only that amount of time. And what are you going to choose to say, Jason Wilde? Take it away.
Yeah, he should be forever beloved and appreciated because he brought Milwaukee a title, which they hadn't had in 50 years, which the baseball team in Milwaukee is still trying to win their first one. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I guess I would just reemphasize that nothing changes that. And the magical feeling there was, I remember we did a radio show. It was me and Tori Lowe from the parade route outside of the Fiserv Forum. And to see the joy that brought so many fans, that matters more than any, opinion that I might have about how he handled his exit, because that meant so much to so many people, and he deserves to be all the accolades he's going to get. He deserves every one of them for that.
And Jason, in your 45 seconds, you know what word I'm going to remember?
I don't.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Legends never die. Yep.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, Homer. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, all Packers all the time, except today. Giannis now with the Miami Heat. The draft is coming up, and I want to emphasize, and we'll hopefully get to a little Jay Billis, but this draft is historically special in terms of the belief of how many good players. Many say the top 15, any of those 15, and then it may go as late as 30. So it is possible with the picks, and if the Bucks get another one, that they could get talent in this draft so much better that it would be better to maybe have 3 picks in this draft than 1 each of the next 3 years. We'll see what happens. They have 10 and 13. The likelihood, however you feel about any GM, the likelihood of getting a good player in those picks is better than it's been for 40 years, so that it'd be really hard not to hit one, even if it's not something you do well. That's what they're saying about the draft and why the Bucks might make a move to trade Hero if it got them even higher up. Or to me, I'd like to see them get 4 picks in the top 30, and the impact that could have on the team in the future, to me, would be greater than having a higher pick each of the next 3 or 4 years. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way, I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
And ESPN ultimate example of we just want to be together, all of us, and we want to do this thing together. They all found a home there, and I think many of these players are trying to find a home there. Davion Mitchell, point guard, top 10 pick in the draft. Norm Powell, all-star. Andrew Wiggins, champion, all-star, number 1 pick in the draft. Bam, obviously, all-star, lottery pick. Giannis, Hall of Famer. Based on that, do you want to be together? Do you want to be like Bridges and Cat and Brunson, who led the way, obviously, with taking a little bit less? That's the model now. The team that I root for that just got Giannis is not the model anymore. What they're trying to do is catch up to the model, which is the Knicks. Are some of these guys now going to take advantage of joining Giannis and Bam, which means I don't have to play great defense because those guys are behind me to take a little bit less? It's an unfair ask, but that is probably what's going to happen now.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
The biggest sporting event in the world, and a superior light beer to match it. From the pitch to the pour, Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy Michelob Ultra while watching FIFA World Cup 26 at Zocalo Milwaukee, Social House Menominee Falls, Nomad World Pub Milwaukee, and Three Lions Shorewood. Michelob Ultra, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch, Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco, Fisco, Fisco.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A special 2-hour Homer Hour. I don't know if that's the way you say it. Tony Smith coming up at the top of the hour. Tim Van Born also. And if we have time, some of the comments from Jay Billis on Friday. He's doing the draft for ESPN and thoughts on, again, the quality of the players in the draft as to how important thus it could be on this trade for the Milwaukee Bucks. For the Milwaukee Bucks to be special again, as Professor John Anderson said, 4 seasons, he believes, to be good again will be based way more on the ability of the players they draft than any of the players that they got from the Heat. Hope to be wrong on that. Tune into the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, HR and benefits consultant. Bucks versus the World, narrated by comedian Charlie Behrens, reveals the untold story of the '87 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to take on the best national team in the world, the Soviet Union. I think the Bucks put a whooping on them, led by 48 at one point. Listen to find out. Before the Dream Team, the long-forgotten tournament in Milwaukee globalized the game of basketball and opened the doors to international stars coming to the NBA. Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. And yes, Tony Smith will be the latest on his own Yingling hotline because of how good he was, and certainly his experience in the NBA, and we talked before about this, will put Giannis to Miami in perspective. Tony Smith on the Tony Smith Yingling hotline. Next.
We are still seeing delays along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We've also got delays northbound from just before Mayfair Road all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound 43 also heavy from Good Hope past Bender. Southbound also slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing, with the northbound side slowing down from Lincoln all the way up to about North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors, GeistDoors.com, and don't think twice, call Geist. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Sushi is more than a meal. It's an art form, and now you're invited to create it. St. Kate the Arts Hotel presents Studio Sessions, The Art of the Roll, an intimate, hands-on evening inside the studio kitchen and cocktails where guests are welcome with a complimentary cocktail, wine, beer, or sake, then guided through crafting 3 stunning sushi rolls from the very first fold to the final cut. This is culinary artistry made personal. Reserve your evening at stkatearts.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
It is the first ever 2-hour Homer Hour. Subscribe on YouTube whenever or wherever you're listening. Just know we're live on YouTube as well. That's where everybody's going now. They not only want to hear it, they want to see it. You can watch the show, see what's happening in the studio, find out if the dome is open or closed. Comment along with us. Just search ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and subscribe today. Giannis leaving the Bucks, going to Miami. Draft is tonight. And joining us now, as appropriate, given that he played in the NBA and played with Magic Johnson, who was one of those who stayed in one place, Tony Smith. Tony, good evening.
Homer, how are you, buddy?
I am fine, and you?
I am pretty good, thank you.
What's your handicap now?
Yeah, 7.
All right, people need to know Tony Smith's a very good golfer. He's a 7, but I think you have the potential to be a 4. Have you ever been as low as a 4?
I've been down to 3 before, but yeah.
Because, man, when you
should be lower right now.
When you get to 1 or scratch, and those are people that just get birdies all the time, right? They just
that's just too much work.
All right, the last time we talked, I believe you said, let's just get this done. It's time for the Bucks to move on. Time for Giannis to move on.
Yep.
Am I describing your thoughts correctly?
Yep, 100%. Yep, way overdue.
Explain that as a former player in the league.
I'm arguing with people on Facebook all the time. They calling me a hater because I told the Bucks to let Giannis go, free him from.
When did you first say let Giannis go?
It was probably 2 years ago.
And why?
Because Milwaukee had their run. You know, they got a championship out of it. There was some time. There's a window with everybody, right? So the Bucks had their window. They got a championship.
You thought 2 years ago the window had run its course?
It closed, yes.
Okay,
it had closed already.
Because Bud left or because Drew Holiday left? What made you say?
Yeah, all of that. Middleton couldn't stay healthy.
There you go.
Holiday's gone. You didn't keep PJ after the championship.
I want to just interrupt for
a lot of little stuff.
You knew, or I'm sure, how important Middleton is. When you have a championship, there's that. I don't want to say it was like Dandridge when the Bucks won it with, but Middleton was huge, right?
I mean, Middleton's getting you 22 a night. I mean, as a second guy. I mean, guaranteed. That's huge. So I mean, and he's not a guy. I don't need the ball. I mean, you couldn't get a better matchup with a guy like Giannis, who really he needs to have the ball a lot because you want him to draw a lot of attention. You want him to do some stuff, but Middleton, it was just a nice fit, right? But they couldn't keep it together. The window closed where I thought that, okay, now they don't even have the personnel. I mean, I thought they didn't have the personnel after they got rid of Tucker and
Lillard didn't make you think they had the personnel.
No.
Explain
Lillard's
that.
one guy. Well, just because he's not that guy. He's also a ball-heavy, ball-dominant guy. He needs the ball. So now you're taking the ball out of Giannis's hand. So to me, it just wasn't going to be that type of fit. That's just me, though, right? But
no, because the idea was that they were worried that late in games they were just going to foul Giannis. They need somebody who could score and pressure, which certainly Lillard could. But that's not just the only time you play a game, right? There were so many.
Correct, right? Yeah. There's the entire game before you get to that point. And it just it didn't seem like the right fit, and it turned out that it wasn't. But either way, I thought there'd been a few different moves here or there to get the Bucks maybe into the finals again, and maybe another chance. Didn't happen, didn't work out. Well, we got you one, and I thought, okay, this window's closed. This roster's not getting better; it's getting worse, and I don't think Giannis deserves that. I think Giannis deserves to go play for another championship. I know, fans, of course, always think selfishly, well, we want Giannis here. We want Giannis here. We can do it. No, you can't do it. You can't do it. He needs more help, and you're going to just waste his years. And you saw that kind of last year. Giannis is known for playing through injuries, and last year it just seemed like he was, I'm not playing through no injuries. I'm just going to, sit out, whatever. So it just turned into
all right,
what
to
it
interrupt
is now.
again, how much of that you described, that period, because I maybe bring it up more, was Giannis just got hurt? Like in the playoffs, you have said, and I disputed, and the best example of injuries, you believe when Jordan got his first title, if you had been healthy with the Lakers, you were working then, you're convinced, you don't even flinch, that you would have won that series.
Yeah, I think if Worthy had stayed healthy and Byron had stayed healthy the entire series, I think we would have won. Yeah.
So how much of what
we literally had a stacked team. I mean, injuries are tough, but again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there was enough for the Bucks to win another championship roster wise.
Okay.
That could withstand an injury. I mean, from Giannis, definitely. If Giannis is hurt, you're
it's
definitely
over.
done.
But he's been hurt in the playoffs so much in the last few years.
Right, but if you remember the year they won,
yep,
they could withstand it.
Yeah, you're right.
They could hold up. So they didn't have the roster that could do it. So that just says it's over. But I thought with that, my sentiment was, all right, fine. He got us one, right?
Yeah.
Let him go, and then get max value from him. Now they still got a lot for him. Of course, they're going to get a lot for him, but they had to throw Bobby Portis in there. And they got some picks and they got some players.
They would have gotten way more had they listened to you.
A couple of years ago, they would have gotten way more. Yeah, as much as they got now, they would have got way more. And that's when I think they needed to pull that trigger.
So what did you say when the people said you're a hater? Get rid of Giannis now. Your mama?
Said, shut up.
Did you?
I don't. Yeah, I said your mom. I said shut up. I don't care what you think. You're just being ridiculous, and you're being selfish. They're being selfish, only thinking about themselves as fans. Think about Giannis. The guy gave you a championship, bro. You were down at the parade celebrating. He gave you the time of your life, and now you want to hold him hostage when you can't provide him with the support that he needs to win a championship.
Do you think he wanted to leave that long ago?
Hoping that they could do something, but that's him being optimistic about not only his own abilities, but the organization's ability to get him where he needed to go. Just wasn't going to happen. And I saw some of the stuff they were doing and the people that were given playing time. It's like, this is not a championship roster. So, but
did
anyway,
you ever see other players you played
gone.
with or that you followed where you said the same thing? Because I think players look at it differently. It was like, let him go.
I can't think of any situations offset, but we've seen stars move on a lot, right? And it's not anything new right now, but focus right now for everybody. Giannis, and to be honest with you, I don't think Miami is the best place for him to go get a championship?
Why
Now,
not?
I'm very curious. Well, I'm very curious to see what they do with the roster. Their roster doesn't look good either right now.
No, I said this
So-
isn't about this year. They're going to take 1 year to try to get the team together, Miami.
Yeah, they're going to have to because the roster does not look good right now, and maybe they're fine with that because maybe Giannis is still recovering and not fully healthy. I don't know what's going on, but again, if we're talking about what I'm talking about, let him go so he can win a championship. I don't think Miami is the place for that. Doesn't look like their roster is ready to do that.
Would you have liked
But
the Bucks to make the
it's-
deal
it's
with
Miami,
Boston
though.
to get Brown? Or do you like this better?
I didn't really care who they made the deal with, to be honest with you, Homer, because the Bucks are also a few years away from doing anything. You're not going to get a bunch of rookie, all those picks they got. You're not going to take them all. You're not going to get a bunch of rookies in here and think that you're going to contend for a championship. Now, if you're going to draft them all and you're going to just build be like the Spurs, have a super, super young team, but you got to hit on those guys. You cannot miss. Right, and like right now, I think the Bucks are what, their 13th pick. That's
10th and 13th.
There.
They have the 10th. They have the 13th. And someone told me
the 10th and 13th.
They'll try to get another.
Those spots are outside of the area where you want to be picking. You want to really be top 5 to get a
They're saying
game
this
changer.
year's different, but we'll see.
It is. They're saying, but it ain't 10 different. It ain't 13 different.
All right.
Right.
You're
Okay.
a
Maybe
hater.
6.
There's those people.
I'm
You're
not
right. You're a hater.
It ain't 10. It ain't 10 or 13 difference makers. There's just not. I mean, even if on paper it says that, go back in any draft. How
They
many
say
misses are in
40
the top
years
10?
ago. The best draft in 40 years for that.
I know,
very
but
few times.
But any draft, the top 10, how many misses are there in the top 10 always?
At least 5.
They're correct. So there you go. There's at least 5. There's half of them are at least misses in those top spots. So 3 or 4.
Well, they might
really
use
to
get
get that guy.
and one of these picks to move up that high. We'll see.
Yeah, they might, and that's what I say. They got to worry about putting
top 5.
a nice roster together. I mean, because you want to get back to building quick. I mean, they really. What's their base right now? They don't even have a base. They don't have a Giannis. They don't have a base player. Like,
you know what John Anderson said? They just got all the parts. I thought that's a good way to put it. They just got parts.
Yeah, they got parts. They don't have a frame. They got nothing right now. So they're really, really rebuilding. All those fans who are at my throat. What are you going to say now? You don't even have a team right now. So you're going to have to relax for a couple of years, take one on the chin, and hopefully you find some guys that you can actually start to build around. But you're going to need a minimum of 2 studs in this league to win. The period. 2. You need 2 as a minimum.
John Anderson, and I agree. The way you descend to be good is that I say is 50 wins. I think you got to have 50 wins to say that you're a good team. Is that too many wins or not enough?
A good team. A good team.
Yeah.
Yes, a good team. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you got to be around 50.
Yeah,
100%. And that's might be a minimum.
So you alluded to it a little bit. I go, what do fans just not understand about the mentality of players? What Giannis is thinking, what players think about other players staying on the same team or being traded.
Yeah, well, it's no different than when I hear people complain about the college game nowadays and, it's going to ruin the game, all this portal stuff. I'm like, dude, because you're thinking like a fan. You want your team, and you want these players who will come to your team to stay with your team because they're good. You don't want them going another place.
Yeah.
No one wants their good players leaving, but you're the fan. If I'm not happy at work or I'm not getting what I want out of work, I want to be able to leave personally. There's nothing to do with you being a fan of the team. I'm not happy in the place that I'm working. I would like to leave.
It's my job.
Right. Everybody wants that opportunity, that privilege in their own personal life. But when it comes to other people and their teams and they're being fans of the team, they don't want these guys to have any kind of freedom. No, you're stuck here. You gotta be on my team because I want you on my team. I'm like, shut up. Go do something else.
Shut up. All right, now I will ask you on the Tony Smith Yingling hotline. So you get 30, 40.
Hold on. What's this Yingling hotline stuff?
Well, that's what they want us to say when we have guests on to promote Yingling.
Yingling is a beer. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't drink, so I didn't know what that was. Okay, I got you.
I have a standard where if people are really good, you're not on the Yingling hotline. You're on the Tony Smith Yingling hotline.
Listen, I apologize to Yingling for not knowing what beer is because I don't drink beer.
Because you don't drink any alcohol.
I don't drink any alcohol.
Yes.
Right? Correct.
What I asked everybody is, you get 30 to 45 seconds, Tony, to say whatever you want about Giannis, but you only get that much time. And given that limitation, what are you going to feel that you want to or have to say about Giannis? Take it away, Tony Smith.
Listen, Giannis was an incredible talent here to have and watch live. I was with the Bucks when he came in. He was a little stick figure when he came in.
You were?
Yeah. I was working with the Bucks.
Yeah, but you weren't
TV.
playing anymore.
No. I was working doing TV.
Yes, you saw him when he was that skinny.
Yeah.
Did you ever say, "Do you eat?
You
need to eat more."
When he was super skinny and no muscle, and you didn't know what he was going to be, right? He's just a tall, thin guy. But look what he worked himself into. He's an absolute monster. He's ripped. He's super dominant when he's at his best. I mean, the 50-piece in the finals, deciding game. I mean, the guy is incredible. Fans, be happy you got a chance to watch that. He delivered you a championship. You've gotten to watch him for how many years was he here? Like
12, 13.
12 or something? Yeah. So you saw an incredible talent. The guy's a future Hall of Famer. Just rejoice in that. Be happy with your championship. Be happy that you saw that type of generational player play. And, all right, hey, listen, good luck elsewhere, Giannis. I mean, I don't know why he went, again, traded to the East. Now you got to see him too much. Yeah. And he could now prevent you down the line.
I got to ask you, but
Whatever.
I don't know that you're the kind of person that does this. So he's a skinny kid. Do you remember the first time where you thought, hey, this guy could do something, or the first time you thought, holy crap, this is unbelievable. This is special.
I don't remember the first time, but there were early when he was young, there were times where he would do some stuff and I'd be like, whoa, that's, if he could do that more, he'd be unbelievable. But it takes time to get that, right? You see flashes of it, then all of a sudden you see a little bit more of it. And then when he's dominant, it's consistently he's just doing this over and over, and no one can stop him. So that's what you get to. And
was he similar to any player you can remember? He reminded me some of what he did that was like Dr. J, where unlike Jordan, who flew horizontally, Dr. J was the same way. He would just take off from like another city and then just still be able to dunk the ball as tall and as big as he was.
I don't think there's anybody who's doing that kind of stuff. I'll tell you what he did remind me of a little bit, because it was different back then. I remember Barkley came in the league. Now Barkley's much shorter, but Barkley's a forward. He played the power forward, right? And that's typically not a spot where you see guys handle the ball. But Barkley was super athletic. I mean, super duper. You look at him now, you just think there's no way he can even jump. But the guy was super athletic. He would get that thing off the glass, go coast to coast. He'd be taking it behind his back, and he'd just hammer it. And I was like, who is this locomotive coming down the street? And it was just like, sometimes it's just like Giannis. If he gets a head of steam, forget about it. You're not gonna stop him. He's gonna Euro step around you, or he's just gonna go right through you. And that's kind of what I saw from Barkley at a much smaller size. Now, Giannis is much taller than Barkley, but it's still that's what that reminded me of. Or if you want to go to a bigger guy, maybe go back to a Sean Kemp.
Yes, that's a
back
great
in the day.
point.
Sean Kemp used to do the same thing. This guy was crazy. I don't know. He was just
Sean
a freak.
Kemp makes.
It was like Giannis's name. He was a freak.
Yes, get out of his way.
Get out of the way. Watch your head. Don't get on the ESPN highlight reel.
All right, always a treat. 4 handicap. Now I'm not sure you care enough to be a 4 handicap anymore.
No, it's too much work. I don't want to get down there. If I happen to put up a couple scores, I'll get down there.
All right.
I told you though, I'm on the verge of a good score. I'm on the verge.
That's always about, to me, it's always in your short game. It's good, but when
I had to make some swing changes. So
really,
we'll see. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see how it works.
I don't like people that play as good as you and make swing changes. Come on.
Hey, man. Hey.
What?
Shut up. I got to do it. Get to work. Hey, what about your game, fast player?
Yeah, I don't. I'm too old to care.
That's how you play. You don't even think about it. You just get up there and hit.
Hit it in the straight. Hit it in the middle of the fairway on a putt. Pretty much go straight every once in a while. All right. Okay. Always a treat. Thanks for doing it, Tony.
All right, brother.
Tony Smith, he leads off the Homer Hour, the second Homer Hour with Giannis moving on. Still TVV. Next up, Jay Billis, who's covering the draft tonight and was on Friday, because I want to play back because I think it's important to all the stuff that he talks about, because it's even more important now than Friday because of what's occurred with the trade. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We are still seeing delays along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We've also got delays northbound from just before Mayfair Road all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound 43 also heavy from Good Hope past Bender. Southbound also slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing, with the northbound side slowing down from Lincoln all the way up to about North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeistDoors.com and don't think twice. Call Geist. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal
blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Just a short drive from Milwaukee and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. And on-site camping lets you stay all weekend. Trans Am is up next at Road America, coming June 26th through the 28th. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets the outdoors. Check out roadamerica.com.
Don't let summer pass you by. Turn it all the way up at Summerfest. The music, the moments, the memories you'll replay all year long. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 18th through July 4th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is a special second Homer Hour with the trade of Giannis. I never asked him, and it isn't meant to be, but I never use his last name. He's Giannis. He's Giannis. And his brother is the brother of Giannis. Special second hour. I want to thank Tony Smith for being on the Tony Smith Yingling hotline. Still to come, Tim Van Voren, very busy, still able to find a little time because his work with Fox 6 Sports. And it was not Friday, which is what happens when you get old. Friday was Juneteenth Day, so there was no show. Jay Billis was on Thursday talking about Giannis, talking about the draft. The draft's coming up, and I agree with the comments of John Anderson and others that the key to the Giannis trade will be how good the players are that are picked in this draft because of how great is expected. The Bucks already have 10 and 13. Will they add another one or try to move up? But the likelihood of getting a very good player is much better than it's been in a long time. So getting picks in this draft, many of them, might be worth more than a pick every year. But to the conversation with Jay Billis, which was on Thursday. The best thing to say about Jay Billis, this is AI, is that he is an unfiltered champion for student athletes who prioritizes substance over style. You like that?
AI said that?
Yeah. I asked him, what's the best thing to say about Jay Billis? And then I said, but how about as a basketball player? Standout 6'8" center. I thought you were taller than that. And a 4-year starter at Duke.
Yeah, I would have gone with devastatingly handsome, but how do you argue with AI? They're smarter than humans, I've been told.
Hold on. We'll put that up as the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. Get a picture of Jay Billis. He claims he's devastated. What was the word?
Devastatingly handsome.
Devastatingly
I don't claim
handsome.
that. I am that.
Oh, well, no, but I want to see if other people agree. Not that you would care, right? But I'm just curious. How many people find you that handsome? All right. You ready to go?
Sure.
I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. I watched everything you said when they had the draft lottery, and you made it clear that this is one of the great drafts in 40 years in terms of the depth of it. Make sure I represent your position appropriately.
That's right, especially with the freshmen. It's as deep of a freshman class of high-level talent as I can remember. And, there have been drafts in the past where maybe the top player, the top 3 players were arguably better than this one, but I just don't recall a draft. And it's not like I have these things cataloged in my head or written down on a yellow pad. But, to go this deep, and that's why you saw NBA teams tanking, honestly. You get the 9th pick this year, you don't have to trade it. You're going to get somebody really good. And that's why teams were okay with being in the lottery, is because you can get somebody good and really, really build in this one.
So how deep does it go? Because this led me to say, if I'm the Bucks in any discussion about Giannis, I don't want draft picks from other years. I want as many as I can get in this year and maybe the top 30, whatever the number you had is, because I have a chance to get more players at a level that hasn't happened in how many years and might not happen again. So if I could get, I think they have 10-10 and 15 and 20 and 23. I want to get as many from this year's group based on what you just said to me. Is that a legitimate point?
Yeah, I mean, but in a trade, it can be draft picks. You got to make the money work, and that can be difficult. So, it's probably going to be a combination.
But you would want to go and would like to go deeper in terms of what you're getting in this year's draft than anyone you can remember.
Anyone I can remember, yeah. And that doesn't mean, look, there have been so many drafts where you've had guys that were rated high and didn't work out, and then you got guys that were second-round picks, whether it's Jalen Brunson or Draymond Green or Nikola Jokic, and they turn out to be all NBA
We saw
players.
him play in college. There's no way I thought he was that good. Hart was the star and leader of that college team, or at least I thought so. What did you think?
Yeah,
of him?
I mean, I thought he was going to play in the NBA and do well. I did not see him being an all-star or an all-NBA player, and I think that's probably true across the board. I know Jay Wright has said he didn't see this. I think his dad, Rick Brunson, who played in the NBA, has said he didn't see this. I don't think anybody could have counted on this. But that's sort of the beauty of the draft in a lot of ways is we all think we know, and we don't. You have beliefs and you try to make informed judgments, but nobody knows. We don't know in recruiting, how many McDonald's All-Americans every year wash out and aren't what we thought. And then a guy who was ranked outside the top 100. More in your area, Keaton Wagler at Illinois wasn't ranked to the top 150 coming out of high school, and now he's going to be a top 10 pick in a little over a year from when he left high school.
But it wows you when somebody treats the NBA like it's college. It's too hard to do, and he's done it. I mean, I know when Wade came in, I'm not saying he's Dwayne Wade, but like his first year, like he's treating the NBA like it's Conference USA. You can't do that. But
but it was a process for Jalen Brunson. Like, it didn't happen right away. He was with Dallas, and then, I remember, I think it was Luka Doncic got injured or was out for a period of time, and Brunson jumped up. He was averaging about 15, 16 a game, and then he started averaging over 20, and he was I think he was unrestricted free agent, whatever it was, and then he had a chance to go on the market and wound up getting a big deal to go to New York. But when he went to the Knicks, there were a lot of people in our business that were like, what are they doing? Like, this is not a good idea. They kind of crapped on the move. And now the argument is he the greatest Knick ever, or is he, should he be considered the best player in the league?
Said. That family is so good. No, he's not the best. Come on. Patrick Ewing's the best Knicks player ever. His dad loved it.
Oh, yeah. But who knows? Like, I don't.
Who cares?
Patrick
He won a
Ewing,
title. He's at the top of the list with all of them.
That's the thing. And first of all, it's like saying who's the greatest player ever. Nobody's going to decide that. And if you took it to another sport, so people don't get their underwear in a bunch, if you said who's the greatest golfer of all time, well, one, there's no answer to that. But if you want, some people will say, Jack Nicklaus, he's got 18 majors. When somebody else gets to 18, give me a call.
But there's a group.
Of course there's a group, and that's my point, is that it's an unanswerable question. It's a great barroom argument while we're having a couple of beers and wings and everything, but nobody's ever going to have it decided.
Right, but my number one stat in the NBA is Bill Russell, 11 titles in 13 years. That's everything.
It's a great stat.
After that.
It's a great stat, but that doesn't mean he was the greatest player ever.
Yes.
And look, we can sit, I remember hearing Russell talk about, when Russell played, what were there, 10 teams in the NBA?
Something like that, yes.
And the world was different back then. And that's not to take anything away from it, but then Bill Russell said, well, that means a lot of these guys wouldn't have even made the league. But the game is advanced. Players are better now than they've ever been. The game is advanced.
All right, let's get to Giannis. If I don't ask you about Giannis, they'll kick me out of the state in sports. You can say whatever you want about Giannis. Say whatever you want. I want to know what you say first.
One of the top 5 players in the league when he's healthy. I mean, it's not up for a reasonable debate in my view. And he's won a championship. He's been All NBA. He's a Hall of Famer. So any team would want him. It's just a question of what you'd have to give up to get him.
And if you were the Bucks and you were in charge, you would tell him, you're going to do what you want, but I would sign you to the Supermax or the whatever that contract is. You would offer that to him.
Well, yeah, but I think everything's run its course in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
I have the feeling, and it's just a feeling. They know, and look, if it's going to work out, it'll work out.
No, I think he's gone.
You know, it's like,
I think he's leaving.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
But it's like me saying, should a pair stay married? Why would I care? That's not their business. That's not my business. That's their business. But it feels like it's run its course, and I don't think any reasonable person could argue he hasn't put his time in and put his heart and soul into Milwaukee. If he wants to go, or if Milwaukee wants him to go, or whatever, that's fine. I don't think there should be any hard feelings. He should always be and always will be celebrated in Milwaukee for what he has been and what he is for the franchise and the city. But I think it's time. But that doesn't mean you don't get value for him. And there are going to be opportunities to get really good value. You're never going to get a one-on-one player-for-player trade and value. It's going to have to be a package. And who knows? Maybe you'll get a group of players that mesh together pretty well that you could build around. And in a period of a couple of years that, you get draft picks and you turn into Oklahoma City. I don't know the answer to that. But when Oklahoma City traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was with the Clippers. And I think Doc Rivers, who you know well, was coaching the Clippers. And Doc was not happy that they were going to trade SGA. And look what he turned out to be for the for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think you have to look for value in that vein to make it worthwhile.
All right, number 10. Anybody that you like? The Bucks have the 10th pick, and I don't know that someone will be around, but do you have somebody that you like maybe more than other people like, or however I put that?
No, I mean that's the beauty of this draft. There's a whole bunch of players that are going to fall down in that range. So whether it's somebody like Braden Burries at Arizona, a guard that can really shoot it, and he's athletic, or Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville. There are all kinds of guys. It's a guard-heavy draft, but there are all kinds of guys that are going to fall to 10, and they're going to be worthy in another draft of being a top 5 pick, a top 7
So
pick.
if you don't get a player in there that's good, you just messed up because you got so many choices that'll probably all be pretty good, right?
Well, you can mess up with the first pick. Like, you can mess up with any pick. And how many times have we seen somebody's drafted 25th and they passed up on it? Like, every team in the NBA had at least one shot, some of them 2, to get Jalen Brunson. Every team in the NBA. Every team in the NBA had one. Some teams had 2 shots to get Nikola Jokic. So, like, we can sit here and say we know all this stuff, but we don't. And that's why, you rely on the homework that you do and the intelligence you gather to make the best possible decision.
You got a pretty good there's a list that you believe that's longer when you're in there in 5 to 20, and it doesn't mean you'll get the best, but the percentages probably favor you more than, as you stated, the normal year with the long list that exists.
There's more talent this year than in other years, and it goes deeper. But that doesn't mean that just because you're picking at a certain slot that you're going to get the right guy. And so that it's still a difficult challenge, and you want to make sure you make the right decision because the one thing you can't measure, and I think Jalen Brunson's actually spoken to this, is you can measure out their size, their weight, their athleticism, their length, all this stuff, but you can't measure their heart and desire.
Yeah.
And some guys just have that winning gene that's usually identified after they've won so much that you can't miss it.
So are you doing the draft, or are you still?
Yeah, I'm doing the draft.
Do I ask it now? What's the tease? Will you say then who you think should be the first player?
Well, I mean, who I think should be the first player. Like there are 3 guys that are vying for the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Darren Peterson of Kansas is the most talented player in the draft. And I would take him number 1.
Wow.
But
even though he's got baggage bigger than a 7-day trip to Europe.
He doesn't have baggage.
Oh, okay.
He just didn't, he had a cramping issue.
All right,
To me, that's not baggage.
All right.
It's like saying Caleb Wilson had baggage because he got injured.
That's why I ask you. All right.
And A.J. Debonsa looked like he was built in a lab to play in the NBA from BYU. And then Cameron Boozer of Duke is the best pure basketball player in the draft. All
right.
those guys have a chance to be all NBA
And it's
players
on. You're on
in the
Tuesday,
future.
Wednesday, whatever. I forgot. I haven't even looked. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Homer.
Jay Billis, and that was last Thursday. Tim Van Vorn next.
The biggest sporting event in the world, and a Superior light beer to match it. From the pitch to the pour, Superior's worth paying for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy Michelob Ultra while watching FIFA World Cup 26 at Maxwell's in Cedarburg, Stenny's Lake Country, Maddie's in New Berlin, and Jug's Pub and Grill in Slinger. Michelob Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We are still seeing delays along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We've also got delays northbound from just before Mayfair Road all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound 43 also heavy from Good Hope past Bender. Southbound also slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing, with the northbound side slowing down from Lincoln all the way up to about North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit geistdoors.com and don't think twice, call Geist. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jen Latta. I've spent my career around athletes, coaches, and people looking for an edge. That's why I was so impressed when I visited Revival in Brookfield. From kickboxing-inspired fitness, Kaiser cutting-edge performance training, yoga, bar, Pilates, and a suite of recovery experiences that include red light therapy, infrared sauna, cold plunge, and contrast therapy, Revival is redefining fitness and wellness all under one roof. Limited Tier 1 memberships are now available while they last. Schedule a tour today at revivalbrookfield.com.
When your team needs custom gear, don't wing it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and More is your local partner for high-quality apparel with hands-on design help and services that actually feel, well, helpful. For your business, teams, or events, Big Frog makes it easy. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-939-2525. That's 800-939-2525. 800-939-2525.
I can't raise my arms, I can't kneel down, which means I can't play with the kids, golf with the guys, or get through a workday without exhausting pain. Hey, it's Ben Brust, and I'm here to celebrate what you can do. And that's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Not bracing for the next jolt of pain, it's gone. they've moved on back to living their lives. You've heard me talk about Dr. Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics, and so many of you have been through their game-changing regenerative treatments done right in the office. No missing work, no surgery, no long recovery. The pain's back off. And we love hearing from you, how we here at ESPN Milwaukee helped you dig out from under that long list of can'ts and get back to living your best life. Go find out what you can do. It's a good life out there, folks. Go live it to the fullest. Get rid of that pain starting now. The consultation's totally free to see if you're a good candidate. Weekend appointments are available. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The special 2-hour Homer Hour. Tim Van Born, Fox 6 Sports, is on Tuesdays usually. And now he's on the Tim Van Born Yingling hotline. You get your own hotline when you are 4-time Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year. I can imagine. So when did you find out? Were you up and you've nonstop for how many hours in a row now at Fox 6 Sports?
Yep, got the news. I guess it was just coming out last night, and it has been a wall-to-wall Fox 6 Giannis-type day, as it should be. Iconic player traded.
What have you learned from all the interactions that have occurred today for you in your job?
How many people Giannis legitimately touched, not just, I liked watching him. He got to the heart of so many people from so many different walks of life. I guess when you ask me if that surprises me, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's kind of like the trade. It's breaking news, but it's not really breaking news. I guess knowing that Giannis impacted and touched so many people is surprising, but it's not surprising at the same time.
And that, I'm assuming they're willing to do that on a day of some level of disappointment, and that he's gone. It doesn't, or I'm asking you, doesn't seem to have changed what the overall view of people. I asked the question, who's the greatest player of all time for the Bucks? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Giannis? Giannis, 85%.
It's really hard to argue that. And I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, awfully player. But Giannis's impact, length of time with the team, bringing it from the doldrums. Obviously, as an expansion team, they didn't have much of a history when Kareem got here either, or Lou Alcindor got here either. But, I'd put Giannis over Kareem.
Would you? No, I would not. I don't think it's close as a player. Kareem did everything Giannis did and more in every category in 6 years. But, doesn't matter, because to me, he's a champion. You just, I don't know what you're going to run. 50 points. Come on.
Yeah.
There's and that never changes. Maybe it's different when you're in a city where you've won so many, but you never forget. I don't where I was, what my first thought was with either of the Packers or with the Bucks. And you are certainly following it much more closely. Do you have
This guy was a teenager, Homer, from another part of the world. English, not his primary
Do you remember
language.
the first time you saw him or met him?
Yeah, Spindly. Oh, Spindly. Eager to please. But yeah, gangly, spindly, youthful kid. A kid, Homer.
Yeah.
And to me, that's part of it. You saw him grow up in front of your eyes. We used to talk about Brett Favre that way, even more pronounced with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Do you remember when you first thought he was good, or first thought, oh my God?
Well, you saw those flashes. You saw those athletic flashes. I don't know that you knew he was a good player for a long time. You knew he was a great athlete. You knew he wanted to be good. But I don't know that you knew he was a good player for a long time. And then he was a great player because he cares so much, Homer. One of the things we ran on the, we've been running all kinds of video today, obviously, of different things. One of the things I ran is All-Star game video. The guy couldn't help himself from trying in All-Star games, Homer. Nobody tries in the NBA All-Star game. Giannis did. Still does.
How nice was he? I tell the story. I use it for years that when they would go on the road and he first started, people would want autographs and you sign, you don't sign. And they said, hey, Giannis, you don't have to do every one. Nobody does every one. He said, yes, I do. Why? I used to be them. I mean, I think it's true, but I can't think of any story that does even the 50 points where he just always seemed nice. Is that accurate? You're much closer.
Ask anyone, Homer, who was in those Greek night crowds. Huge crowds that would stay way after the game, waving the Greek flag. Giannis would come back out after the game. He's got a long post-game routine. He'd come back out after the game. He'd take pictures with so many of them and just give back of himself to these people. That's a lifetime exchange. That's a memory that shapes people, to be honest with you. That's who he was. That's who he still is. The relationship between the Bucks and Giannis got soiled at the end, but I think everybody's big enough to say it was just time to part. You know what I mean? I don't think there's going to be backbiting in this relationship from either side as this goes forward. I don't think that's who the organization is. I don't think that's who Giannis is.
And you now get to do the last one. I've asked everyone. You get 30 to 45 seconds to say whatever you want about Giannis. And you're limited to that amount of time. And, man, I can't wait to hear what you choose to say in 30 or 45 about Giannis. Take it away, TVV.
I was asked today my favorite Giannis memory, and it's Bel Air Cantina. When the Bucks were starting to get good, they had an afternoon playoff game. Giannis led the Bucks to victory in downtown Milwaukee and went with his family to the Bel Air Cantina a mile or two away and couldn't get seated right away because the restaurant was full. Didn't make a scene, didn't pull the rank, waited. They're told they had to wait till their table was ready. That's it, man. That's my favorite memory. The city was alive because of Giannis, and he downplayed who he was so he'd wait for his table at a restaurant.
Isn't it amazing the things you remember? You can't try to remember anything, but you can't forget it.
You cannot forget it. No, and to me, that's the essence of Giannis. Again, that story is only of that magnitude because he and the Bucks had risen to such a point where everybody was on board. They wanted to get to the games.
Everybody in that restaurant would have given him their table, right?
Would have paid for his meal, for goodness sake.
Yes, and he didn't do it. TVV, Thanks for finding time. I know how busy a day it's been. Thanks.
See you, Homer. You bet.
Tim Van Voorn, Fox 6 Sports. Next.
We are still seeing delays along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We've also got delays northbound from just before Mayfair Road all the way to Silver Spring. Southbound 43 also heavy from Good Hope past Bender. Southbound also slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing, with the northbound side slowing down from Lincoln all the way up to about North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeistDoors.com and don't think twice, call Geist. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Increasing clouds and storms to the north and west. A low of 57 tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Some could be strong later in the evening. A high of 77. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The heart of this country is local. It's neighbors looking out for neighbors. It's small businesses that know your name. At Piggly Wiggly, the people who run your store live right here, right alongside you. And when you shop with us, every dollar stays in the community we all call home. Stop in today and see the difference shopping local really makes. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
This 4th of July, crack open something made for the red, white, and blissful. The new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety 8-pack is here just in time for America's 250th birthday, featuring 4 nostalgic flavors: strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's the taste of backyard barbecues, fireworks at dusk, and long summer weekends packed into every can. This Independence Day, bring the nostalgia and bring the bliss with the new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack from Carbliss. Available now at your local retailer or online at drinkcarbliss.com.
As we celebrate Independence Day and 250 years of American freedom, there's never been a better time to invest in the place you call home. Maybe it's that roof you've been meaning to replace, those drafty windows you've learned to live with, or that bathroom you've wanted to update for years. Whatever project you've been putting off, Exterior Pros and Baths can help. This Independence Day, you can save up to $3,000 on your next project. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
All day, every day. The Carbliss Talk and Text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbliss Talk and Text line. This is more. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
My thanks to everyone. A special 2-hour Homer Hour with Giannis heading off to Miami. And Jay Billis, one of the guests, he's on again doing the draft. I think he's on TV, not ESPN Radio. You'll figure it out. Next.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025